All right, we're starting this trailer hitch off by saying, welcome to the Patriots of America.
Wait.
And then we're going to transition to saying, suck it, Patriots of New England.
Okay, I was like...
Because Philly fucking won.
Psych!
And the entire nation is happy except for that one pocket of Massachusetts.
Yeah, I mean, there's friends of ours in California that are probably a little bummed too, but that's fine.
How many fucking Super Bowls have they won in the course of the past 10 years?
Exactly, Kevin. I was rooting for Philly. I put money down on them in Vegas, baby, and I won. I won big.
How much did you win?
I won $80.
That's at least a video game.
Thank you. I thought so.
Yeah, no, that's more than I won off of the Super Bowl. Well, on top of a great game,
yes,
there were also some good Super Bowl spots. There were also some okay Super Bowl spots, and there were also some not so great Super Bowl spots.
We hit all the marks across the board.
Yes.
We did all different kinds.
If there is one thing Trailer Hitch is known for, it's consistency.
Yeah.
Longtime listeners will remember we ranked the Super Bowl spots last year. We're fucking doing it again this year.
Just so you guys know, this isn't a Tide ad. We're not talking about...
Oh, God, those Tide ads were amazing.
We're not talking about the commercials. We're talking about the movie TV spot. Just so everyone knows, I am a little bit under the weather. I'm over the worst of it, Kevin. I'm over the worst of it. I'm on the upswing. But, you know, I had a little hot toddy beforehand. You had one, too.
I did, yeah. I feel great. I feel even better with the hot toddy.
And now I'm chasing it with some just, like, straight whiskey. So cheers to that, Kevin.
Yes, cheers.
Hopefully I'll give a better performance than Tom Brady did in the Super Bowl. How
about
that? Yeah, boom.
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Turn the lights, grab a seat, pour yourselves some whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're trailer hits. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're trailer hits.
And see, here's the beauty about a podcast, is like you had said to everyone, I'm feeling fine, I'm over the worst of it.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at James right now. He is currently wearing 6 blankets. He has an ice pack on his head, so he's apparently hot and cold at the same time.
This brand new heating pad on my back, because I threw my neck out the other day, too.
Is that what's smoking behind you?
Oh, no. God, it's on fire. No.
All right, well, while you put that out, we should introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Kevin.
I'm James. I'm James. Excuse me. No, I'm...
Totally convincing. All right, welcome to Trailer Hitch, where we rate and review movie trailers. In this case, we're talking about TV spots, but, you know, those are trailers to a degree.
I mean, we'll get to trailers later.
Yeah, we are going to get to trailers later.
Yeah.
So we review trailers by a merit of need to see more, or never need to see. If James and I both give a trailer or a TV spot need to sees, we will celebrate for a second because we like to, you know, have consensus around here.
Yeah.
After that, we see the movie, and then we do a special episode in which we review the movie and the trailer in retrospect.
Yes.
But before we can get to all of that, we're going to dive on in to these Super Bowl spots. So we are going to get into the 8 film trailers that premiered during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There were a couple of TV ones as well. We're not going to get into those just because we don't really...
Special shout out. I mean, sure, the Westworld trailer was pretty cool.
Fucking good, yeah.
I'm excited for that. Some other stuff happened as well.
Yeah.
We're focusing on movies here. And as we did last year, this is our annual tradition, even though we've only done it once, so this is... We can still call it annual.
No, it is annual.
It's annual.
Yes, it absolutely
we are
is.
ranking these. So we're actually not going to review them. We're just going to tell you guys what order in which we thought they were from best to worst or worst to best.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to start us off?
I will. Yeah, let's start us off. So, guys, we're just going to talk about them first, and then at the end, Kevin and I are just going to go through our ranks.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire,
so, I mean,
one by one.
Even through all the blankets, I can actually spy... On one of the blankets, you have a Millennium Falcon embroidered onto it, which doesn't surprise me at all. Do you want to talk about Solo first?
Yes, finally, the Solo trailer. Like, I've been waiting for this for a long time. The movie is in May. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time we're seeing anything from it. So I'm pretty excited to finally get something. I think as were a bunch of other people.
You'd have to assume.
Well, I mean...
You can't be the only person excited for Solo.
I don't know, I'm pretty solo on it. I did it.
Damn it, that's great.
Anyway, So the reason everyone was so excited about this to finally see something is because of all the bullshit that's been happening backstage. And we won't get into that because that is a whole other podcast on its own. But they have switched directors, there's been drama, and people want to know, how is this movie going to turn out? And the first teaser trailer would have been a very good estimate. You know, a good taster, a good teaser, if you will.
I will.
Okay, I will too. Thank you. That's why I said it. And of what's to come.
Yeah.
For good or for bad, for being misconstrued or being misinterpreted or what have you, or being right on the nose. Who knows?
Sure.
So without further ado, let's talk about it. I was really excited with this TV spot. So it started off with just some clicks and some flicks of switches.
Yep.
Then it said Lucasfilm, and I'm like, oh shit, I know where we're going here. And then there was some funky music that came in too, and I kind of liked the funky music. It was different, especially with the dark aesthetic the teaser had going for it.
Yeah, a lot of shadows happening.
Really dark, which is fine, but it just... Yeah. Because the style still came through, even though it was dark. It doesn't have to be, fluorescent for it to be fun. But yeah, I thought it was a good time. They really held back on not really showing you much of Han Solo at all. They waited until the very last shot of the trailer, and even that, he's like obscured through bars. And Alden Ehrenreich? I'm going
to give you half credit while at the same time not knowing how to pronounce
the
his
new
name.
Han Solo guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have any lines in this TV spot. It's just like an Imperial guy questioning him. And then we get some glorious, beautiful shots of the supporting cast. Woody Harrelson, Emilia Clarke, and then the fucking piece of resistance. I don't know if I said that right. Did I?
Half credit, and I know that it's only half.
I only accepted half credit in foreign languages anyway, so I'll allow it. Thank you. Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian.
Yes.
We got to see a really awesome shot of him in a fur coat. Beautiful shots of the Falcon, the Millennium Falcon, for those who don't know the jargon. And then it ended on a beautiful shot of Chewie and Han Solo looking away from the camera.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
So for me, you were like, oh, I'm not going to get into the backstage drama of what happened here. And as you were saying it, I was like, shit, because I directly referenced that in my notes.
Get into it, man.
Well, so
you're a rogue. Just do it.
Here's the deal. I personally feel like they're, just from this teaser, and bear in mind it's only 45 seconds,
Absolutely.
but within this 45-second chunk, I kind of feel like there are two movies competing with each other through this. Yes, I really like the beginning. I like those light switches flickering. I like how that beginning is cut, especially. Like, I think there are some really inspired editing choices in there.
Absolutely.
And it just felt fun. And it had the madcap, just fun and insanity that I've come to know from Lord and Miller, who were the directing team who were attached to this initially.
Back in the day.
And then about halfway through shooting... they got rid of those guys and then brought in Ron Howard. And I get a lot of the epic drama that Ron Howard has kind of buttered his bread with, of just like people looking off camera and they seem glum. I totally get like the broad, vast epics that he's like known for with like Far and Away and that sort of.
Apollo 13.
So overall, I would say that this is pretty solid, but right now for me, this is only going about 5 parsecs. I just wish they'd kick that shit up to 12, you know?
To 12 parsecs like the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. If we're going by parsecs, because I do like this ranking we're doing for the Solo teaser.
A totally real unit of measurement.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's actually distance.
You know, there is an in-canon explanation for that continuity
I believe
error.
you. We're moving on.
Okay, we'll get into it later. Anyway, I would give this and we're speaking, my own personal opinions. I'd give this an 11 parsecs out of 12.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's not perfect, but it got me.
Okay.
It got me. So, yeah. So, there you go.
Okay.
All right, so that's one down. Should we jump to another one? What do we got?
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic World 2. Let's talk about it. Do you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so, this opens up with a little girl in bed, and if you remember the first Jurassic World, it all took place within what was essentially like a theme park made out of the Jurassic World island.
Yes.
Words.
I thought you were going to go the other way. The whole movie took place within a little boy's room. So they really went
now,
the other way
now
with this one.
we're finally getting the ladies' side of the story. # feminism. Obviously, for me, it sort of took me aback. We start the story out in a young girl's room, and then something creeps in through her window, and what does it happen to be but a fucking velociraptor? And
it's a dinosaur of some sort.
It's going through, in terms of its aesthetic, it's like all expressionism and like just like the big ass shadow that the velociraptor casts on the wall, and this little girl is literally cowering as this velociraptor is just slowly making its way up to, presumably gobble her up. And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, this is fucking absurd. And the rest of the trailer pretty much just like punches that absurdity for the rest of the time. I mean, we have the shot that was in the previous trailer for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is a goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's roaring, and a mountain explodes behind
while
him.
curb stomping another dinosaur.
That is, I absolutely forgot to mention that, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
It just has this really just bonkers vibe going on throughout it that, to me, feels like it's a lot of fun. And so, my heart says, this looks awesome. But my brain reminds me, man, the main characters from Jurassic World are about as interesting as burnt toast. Like, they just don't have the personality that matches just how fucking nuts everything is. And, like, it's so sad, too, because if you let Chris Pratt be, if you let him be Star-Lord, if you let him be Andy from Parks and Rec,
yeah, totally.
This movie would be a blast and a half, and I'd be the first in line.
Yeah.
And, like, you get, like, those very small snippets of dialogue between him and Bryce Dallas Howard, and it's all very stock action, like, we have to make it, and, like, shit like that. And
it's teaser stuff.
It's teaser stuff.
Teaser talk.
It's teaser stuff before, but at the end of the day, if I think the movie would be more interesting to have Anne from Arrested Development be the main character, who, if you'll remember, folks, is the person who is referred to as bland.
Her?
Then, exactly. As of now, I'm just saying put it in amber and I'll extract it when it comes on streaming or DVD.
Okay, very cool, very cool. I actually, all the reasons you said you liked the teaser, I also liked it for all those reasons. Cool. There were some amazingly cool shots in this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, so Chris Pratt is like standing against the wall and the jaws opening, the shadow jaws opening against his face is incredible. There's a shot of him rolling out of a T-Rex's mouth as it's like about to chomp down. Friend of the show, Joe Chattel, who is a Jurassic Park fanatic, hated that moment. I disagree. I thought it was awesome.
I heartily disagree.
Yeah, we don't have Chris Pratt talking in it.
Huge plus, unfortunately.
He's not a great... he just doesn't...
Yeah, and I mean, it's not really Chris Pratt's fault. I mean, there really isn't that much to do with that.
No. Anyway, visually, this teaser really got me. And also, we got to see, like you said, a little bit more of than just the volcano stuff.
Yes.
I love the volcano stuff. But we talked about it when that trailer came out. We know the majority of this movie is going to take place after that volcano stuff. So we finally got some images to go along with that. So I really liked that. So I liked it a lot. So there you go. All right, should we jump to a next one?
Yes.
Should I pick?
Yeah, you do it.
I'm going to pick Red Sparrow.
All right, cool. Just sort of boring.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, to be fair to the other ones.
we should absolutely be fair to it.
So this teaser covers pretty much everything that the other trailers cover for this movie, but in much shorter amount of time, which is essentially...
I mean, like she's a Russian spy.
Operative, right?
It's like she is brought up in this enclave that teaches her how to be a spy, how to seduce... and how to extract information as effectively as possible. Joel Edgerton seems to play a man who is on the case and he's trying to hunt her down.
It's kind of confusing because I got the impression that he's trying to get her out. She wants out. She doesn't want to be a Red Sparrow.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we all know there's going to be like a twist upon a twist upon a twist.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally Russian.
As spies movies goes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
Just to give credence to why I was a bit flippant at the beginning of this review, honestly, so much of the spot focuses on Joel Edgerton being like, man, Red Sparrow, and like, oh, she's part of this enclave. Isn't that crazy? And it's like, I would just prefer to watch Jennifer Lawrence be the Russian spy. I would prefer to see the craziness of that enclave versus just a dude telling me. And
and especially for a Super Bowl TV spot, I think you gotta hit the cool stuff. And what they tried
at least one money shot. At least one mountain should explode in your fucking teaser.
At least one T-Rex curb stomping another dinosaur.
You get
right?
it. Yeah.
But like, what is this spot? Like 40 seconds long or something? Or maybe a little bit more?
Maybe 45,
They try to cram every bit of information into it, and it's like, no, you don't do that on a Super Bowl TV spot. Like, you don't have to. Just do the cool shit. Show the cool shit, man. Say a couple one-liners here and there, and you're out. And try and convince people to be interested, to go look up the real trailer, the full trailer. This was a mess, in my opinion. Like, it was just a short version of the full trailer, and it was boring, and that's all. That's all I got.
Cool. It sounds like it's pretty clear how we feel about Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
So let's bring in a paradox, shall we? Let's talk about Cloverfield Paradox.
Ooh.
So I have no idea how you guys viewed the Super Bowl. Maybe this wasn't the obvious thing that people talked about after. But at least within my circle, at least from the buzz I saw online, probably the second most thing talked about after the fact that Philly won was the fact that Cloverfield dropped a fucking movie on Netflix the second the Super Bowl was over.
Right.
We had the teaser that effectively told us, by the way, this is on Netflix tonight, bye!
Yeah. Peace out.
Obviously, the marketing tactic of, by the way, this is out now, have fun.
Yeah.
Was really inspired.
For something we've never seen a trailer for.
Correct.
Ever. There has not been a trailer for this movie. Here's the teaser. It's on tonight. Go watch it. Yeah.
Ultimately, it's basically selling you on the premise of Cloverfield. Like, you remember the Cloverfield movie. Now, this movie is coming along. It is a direct sequel. I at least interpret that's how the trailer is trying to sell it. As a teaser, it's about 30 seconds long, and a good 10 to 15 seconds of it is just footage from the first Cloverfield movie with text cards coming up. And then we just get some shots of the things that actually happen in Cloverfield Paradox. We get one major line of dialogue, which is, whatever you're doing, stop. And that's when the card comes up saying that it was dropping on Netflix that night. And so I understand that, like, using a good third of your time by basically saying, do you remember this movie from 2007 that you probably only saw once in 2007 might not be the best marketing tactic. But at the same time, it fucking worked.
I was
exactly
gonna say, I'm like, it kind of is perfect because it got everyone talking. Like you said, I was like, this is a prequel or a sequel. It's definitely connected though.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, there was the first Cloverfield movie, then there was 10 Cloverfield Lane, and we were kind of meant to believe it's sort of like a Twilight Zone type of thing. It's an anthology type of movie series, which I really liked that aspect.
I did too.
I loved that aspect. So with this teaser, that implied and manipulated you into thinking that this is a direct prequel, but still was really vague about it. I was just like, I have to know more about this.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing.
And I can watch it tonight.
It literally gives you just enough. It shows you a severed arm fucking, walking its way down the hallway.
Addams Family style.
Absolutely. 100%. It was enough to sell me. So it clearly did something right.
No, it was a great Super Bowl TV spot. Probably one of the best.
Sure. Okay.
Real quick, though, before we move on, I just wanted to establish, right after the Super Bowl, they did air a second trailer for Cloverfield Paradox. It was a full trailer just focusing on the Paradox movie, not the first movie. And it did give you more of a satisfied feeling that this is going to be its own movie. And it might have connections to the previous one, but it will be its own movie.
Yeah.
I mean, watching that also cemented me to watching it after the Super Bowl too, but that first teaser is the one we really focused on here.
Definitely. I wanted to get into Avengers Infinity War. Just
Ooh,
because
okay.
I thought it was like Cloverfield Spot in that it gives you the bare minimum, because as I said the last time we reviewed the trailer for this, there really isn't any information that you don't already know.
For Avengers?
For Avengers, yeah. You
yeah.
know that everyone's going to be in it.
Yep.
That's what they've been setting up for the past decade. So it gives you the bare minimum to operate out of. However, I understand Marvel knows goddamn well I didn't sit through Iron Man 2 to just not know how this finishes. So, yeah, I mean, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm there. How about you?
Yeah, I fucking loved this teaser. Honestly, I don't want to be biased or easy. I don't want to be easy, but I feel like any new footage I'm going to see from this movie, I'm just going to keep being like, yep, I love it. Give me more. Yep, I love it. Give me more. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Just because this is a culmination of 20 fucking movies, you know? Mm. So that's a big deal. And to see it at least appear like it's going to be, they're going to pull it off, it blows my mind. So I'm just super excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I kiss the skyscraper is going to be the next one we're talking about. So this is basically Die Hard, but in a skyscraper. All right, to be fair, Die Hard was already in a skyscraper.
I was going to say, wasn't it?
So the only way they can differentiate it is now the guy has a prosthetic leg. And there's already like a courtesy contrived scenario where the prosthetic comes into play.
Also, instead of your average Joe everyday man,
it's the goddamn Rock.
It's The Rock. Which no human being actually looks like on the face of the planet.
God, with how fucking huge he is, I would be much happier with the prosthetic if it was like a titanium, because like that's the only thing that would be able to physically hold up the Rock. And I guess that more so underlines my issue with Skyscraper is it doesn't have any fun with itself.
No.
It's very serious. It's one of those like we're going to have a female-led a cappella vocal sing this really sad tune as this guy's family gets kidnapped and now he's got to fucking take them back.
Excuse me?
A cappella?
No.
It's a type of llama, as you well know.
Kevin, you clearly aren't up on the Pitch Perfect fandom here, because excuse me is a joke from that. It's not important. I knew what you were talking about.
I made it like a half hour into Pitch Perfect, and then I had to go do something, and I never got back to it.
Well,
that's my bad.
It's a damn delight. I will tell you that.
So yeah, I mean, like, if this movie was willing to have fun with itself, I mean, I'll hear it out. But as of right now, like this teaser, it didn't really light my heart.
No, it was really harrowing. Obviously, they were focusing on the big jump, like the big stunt. But after like talking about Mission Impossible 6 and all the real shit that Tom Cruise does, this like obviously not real stunt is a little less interesting. Unless it's
jumping to the building.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you just search skyscraper poster scientist, there are people who have like drawn out the angles for like more likely than not, if he jumped from this point, he dies. He would have to be running at 28 miles per hour in order to make this jump. By the way, the world record is 27 miles an hour. It's a goddamn delight.
Yeah.
More so than I had with the trailer, unfortunately.
It was not great.
But as long as we're talking about stunts, you want to just get into Mission Impossible?
Let's move on to Mission Impossible,
Fallout.
man. Let's talk about Fallout.
Really, these movies are just a 2-hour vehicle for you to say, holy shit, who let Tom Cruise do that? Mm-hmm. And it just looks like the movie is going to be more of that.
Totally,
so,
yeah.
Nothing matches really, who let Tom Cruise do that absurdity of the plane stunt
holding
in the previous
on to
one?
Right.
That's fucking nuts.
That's incredible, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, all credit to Tom Cruise getting hit by a car on a motorcycle. Pretty fucking harrowing.
Yeah. Shattering his ankle, jumping across a building.
Pretty harrowing.
Yeah, pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
But he's crazy. What do you expect?
Yeah, 100%. And so overall, yeah, I mean, like, this looks like it's going to be how I took the last few Mission Impossibles, which is pretty fun, and then 6 months later, I would be hard-pressed to tell you any details about the movie.
I feel very similar about the last Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible 4 is actually like one of my favorites, though. Ghost Protocol. I really liked that one.
How many of them? Oh
So-
god, this
so
is
this
the
is-
sixth
this
one,
is
isn't
six.
it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was referring to 5. Yeah, 4's pretty fun.
But 5, you're right. I remember the opera scene, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember the plane dangling scene. Otherwise, I don't remember much.
Vaguely
about that
remember
movie.
with something
Yeah.
underwater. Yeah.
Not important. But yeah, this is what a Super Bowl teaser spot is supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
Just show me the goods,
As
man.
bombastic
Show me
as
the
fucking
crazy
possible.
shit. It doesn't need to be in context. You don't even need to say much. Just show me the cool stuff, and they did. So there you go.
Speaking of not saying much, but the polar opposite of being
You're
as
on
flashy
fucking
as possible.
fire. Yeah,
We have A Quiet Place.
perfect.
And-
to wrap it up, right?
Yeah, this
Let's
will
do
wrap
it.
her.
No, okay, you can talk about it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because it is a podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm not sure what they have to keep quiet from. Like, I don't know what is chasing the family that we
Yeah.
see throughout this trailer. But the silence, especially among, like, the grandiosity of the other spots, was pretty welcome.
Right?
It's super fucking tense.
Yeah, it fits
Um,
really well, like you said, juxtaposed.
Half
against-
credit.
Yeah, thank you. Against all the bombasticness of all the other spots and
Definitely.
commercials, and
And it does. It makes it stand out. Just,
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I have, like, a bunch of questions coming from this, and they're all good questions. So it's, does this movie function almost as a silent film? Can that general premise work for 90 minutes? But then a bigger question for me is, will I want to uppercut that kid for turning on that toy while simultaneously also wanting to uppercut his parents for letting him have a toy that made fucking noise in the first place?
Now maybe he just found it on the ground.
Could be.
Then it's definitely just the kid's fault.
Then
Then,
it's
then we can just uppercut him.
Then we can make this a solo uppercut,
Yep.
yes. But otherwise, as of right now, my viewpoint on these questions is I'll let you know because I'm pretty sold on this.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. And honestly, this had a full-length trailer maybe like a month ago, and it's a solid trailer as well. So there you go. That's the 8 movie spots, you guys.
All right, you want to rank these?
Let's fucking rank them.
All right, we're going to go from bottom to top.
bottom to top, alternate, right?
Yep, we're alternating.
Okay.
Okay, and you know what? We can probably say our bottom on the count of 3.
I was gonna say maybe, but okay.
1, 2, 3. Red Sparrow.
Yay!
100%.
Yay! Okay, great. Every time I see a trailer for this movie or a poster, I'm just like, Red Sparrow. When are we gonna get a Black Widow movie?
100%,
I know.
right? When the fuck? Anyway.
I just want it so bad.
Number 7 for me is Skyscraper.
Number 7 for me is also Skyscraper.
Jesus, look at us, we're on fire.
Cheers.
All right. Will we go 8 for 8? Likely not,
Probably
but
not.
Okay.
No, we'll start deviating.
All right. Number 6 for me is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
So number 6 for me is A Quiet Place, which
That's so much lower.
I really like a lot of these, Kevin.
Okay, cool. That's fair.
So, yeah. From A Quiet Place up, I like all of these.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Solo. Yeah, it was crazy for me to think that you would put Solo at number 5. Anyway, yeah, 5 for me is Solo.
My number 5 is Mission Impossible Fallout.
Okay.
So, yeah, falling out of our order here even a little bit more.
And my number 4 is Mission Impossible Fallout.
And my number 4 is Jurassic World 2, baby.
All right, cool. My number 3 is Avengers: Infinity War.
My number 3 is also Avengers Infinity
It's
War.
still a little
Top
bit
3,
consensus
yeah,
here
all
and
right.
there. My number 2 is A Quiet Place.
Excellent. I like our difference here.
Yeah.
That's nice. My number 2 is Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely up there, Kevin.
All right.
And what is your number 1?
It is Cloverfield Paradox.
I kind of figured. Process of elimination there. And process of elimination, what would you say that my number 1 is?
You put Skyscraper at the bottom and the top because you don't know how to feel about it. It's Solo.
It's Solo,
Yeah.
Cloverfield Paradox is fucking incredible, though. Like, that's how you do a Super Bowl spot, you know? Solo just, like, totally knocked it out of the park for me as well, though. So
I understand.
there you go, man. We did it.
All right.
Go, fly, Eagles, fly, right?
Yep.
Down with the Patriots and that kind
sure
of stuff.
did.
I feel bad for all my friends that are Patriots fans, but not too bad because
I
they get to revel in the celebration enough.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, those are our Super Bowl spots.
Yeah, we crushed it.
Yeah,
did
we
it.
Absolutely did. Game's over. What are you doing after this? I mean,
Tailgating?
yeah, we could just tailgate. So, tailgating, brand new segment. because
we just thought of it just now.
Because as I said at the beginning of this podcast, we at Trailer Hitch like to remain consistent. And one of the consistent things about Trailer Hitch is we're inconsistent with our segments.
That was a confusingly consistent sentence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So tailgating, we just got done with a pretty big major segment, but we have a lot of trailers to talk about.
Absolutely.
So we had the 8 spots that we talked about. However, there were also a bunch of actual trailers that dropped.
The universe was like, we're just not done with you yet, Trailer Hitch. So you got full trailers you need to talk about too.
A couple comic book ones came out. We got a Deadpool trailer. We got a Venom trailer.
Yep.
There is also a full Solo trailer, and we all know James isn't going to let us get the fuck out of here until we talk about the full Solo trailer.
Nah.
Obviously, we're going to keep the Solo trailer review a bit abridged. We had touched on it, obviously,
absolutely,
with the TV spots. But again, James wants to talk about Solo. We get it. So, you want to talk about Solo?
Let's talk about Solo.
Okay, yeah, let's get this tailgate going.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own. I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew. You in?
That's yes.
Alright, we're not going solo into this review, James. You and I, let's do this.
I'm ready.
This is Solo, a Star Wars story. This is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller for a bit, and now Ron Howard.
Ron Howard.
Written by Lawrence Kasdan with his son John Kasdan. This is starring Alden Ehrenreich.
There
Half
you go.
credit. Amelia Clarke, Woody Harrelson, Paul Bettany, Thandie Newton, Donald Glover, Warwick Davis, Clint Howard. Our random shout out, because we don't want the top billed people to hog all the credit, is going to go to Ray Whalen, who plays the Marauder. Hey, Ray, good job. You're in a Star Wars movie,
Marauders. Buddy. Harry Potter Marauders map.
All right.
It's not important. Anyway.
So, James, you're a requisite Star Wars expert.
I am.
Yeah, it's pretty unequivocal. What's going on here?
Sure, absolutely. We dive into this trailer and we get some voiceover of a young Han Solo talking about his even younger days of when he used to run jobs on the street when he was just 10 years old. Skipping past that it's essentially him talking about how badass he is and how rogue he is, how the establishment can't handle him type of thing.
Yeah.
And he needs to do things his own way. He's going to be the best pilot in the world, blah,
Han
blah,
Solo
blah.
shit.
All
Yeah.
the Han Solo shit. And then we jump ahead to Woody Harrelson trying to put together a little team. Mm-hmm. Then we get some visuals of said team, maybe, which include Han Solo and Chewbacca once they agree to it. Amelia Clarke, Donald Glover, a couple other people that I'm very bad with their names, so I feel bad about it, but we're moving on. So they get together a team to do what? We're not entirely sure right now.
Right.
Based on these trailers. There are visuals of this monorail train looking thing. That's pretty cool. There's obviously flying around being chased by TIE fighters and Star Destroyers and all that whatnot. That's essentially what we're given. It's still pretty bare bones in terms of story. But that's what we got. That's what we got to work with. And what kind of stuff did stand out for you?
I'm going to kind of echo what I talked about with the TV spot.
Sure.
But this time, it feels like it's more two movies kind of at odds with each other, but now it's a sandwich. So the beginning of the trailer, I really like a lot. It opens much the same as the TV spot with the switches being flipped up in a ship. Probably the Millennium Falcon.
Probably the Falcon, yeah.
We get a lot of really fun stuff with Han Solo in the beginning, just being the scoundrel that he is. And then we get Woody Harrelson wanting to assemble a crew. It's this is super exciting. It's so are you in? And then Chewbacca roars. Right when I'm expecting, something good's a-coming, Han Solo just looks over at Woody Harrelson and goes, that means yes.
Yeah, that's a yes is probably one of the most deflating lines I've heard Han Solo say before.
Yes. And then again, we get like the big, over dramatic, I know who you really are. And Han Solo's like, well, who am I? And I understand the cut then to the title card of Solo, and the title card is supposed to answer it. But this is a time where I want the character to have the moment and not necessarily show off the editing of the trailer.
See, I think he inflected a little bit too much on Han Solo's response to that. His actual line is, she says, I know who you really are. And he, before saying anything, has a shit-eating grin on his face. And then he goes, oh yeah, what's that? Which is way more Han Solo-esque than, who am I? Who's that is more like a, you don't know me.
I'm giving myself half credit for it. That said...
But going into the title card, I see where you were going with that, though. And the Super Bowl spot also did that.
Yeah.
Like the Imperial guy says, who are you? Cuts to the visual of Han Solo. He doesn't say anything. Cuts to title card.
Right.
While we're on the title card, I just want to say the title card is terrible.
Okay.
The word Solo, a Star Wars story, looks like it belongs to a cartoon show. It doesn't fit any of the visuals that are in this trailer.
Kind of looks like the old Mattel logo. Do you remember? Like the old Nintendo logo?
Yeah, it doesn't fit the music. It just, the visuals and the music just got me really going, geared up for this movie. And then they slam you with that logo, and it's just looks so cartoony. It looks like I'm about to watch like an episode of Clone Wars or Rebels, which isn't a good thing. It's a terrible title card.
Yeah, you were talking about it didn't fitting the music. I think the thing that would fit that title card would be just like a low E on a tuba. To be fair, so it's like I was talking about Sandwich. The end bumper, I think, is a lot of fun, of Solo riding in the ship.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
Dodge a bunch of things, and him turning back and being like, oh, see, you were all worried. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
And then, oh shit, now there's more stuff coming at you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like the fun that I was hoping to get from this movie. And ultimately, Han Solo is such a fun character.
Absolutely.
And if there is one thing that I should be getting from the trailer, and hopefully from the movie writ large, it should just be that sense of adventure. Mm-hmm. And adventures tend to be fun, and they don't tend to have a lot of people just staring off camera looking glum. So that's generally where I'm at. How about you?
Yeah, I didn't really see a whole lot of people staring off looking glum in this one.
It's in that middle part.
Okay. If it's there, I didn't read it that way, and I was still like enjoying the visuals of what I was getting. I'm way more impressed with this than I thought I would be. I'm not saying this movie's in the clear, like, oh, it's gonna be great. I'm not saying that, because there's a big chance that this movie falls completely on its face. But I like what I'm seeing. There are certain things in the teaser, like I talked about, like Han Solo just saying, that means yes. Great. Cool. We got that. We got that. I'm sure Woody Harrelson got that. You saying it doesn't add anything cool to the scene, doesn't add anything at all. That was dumb. Anyway, I hope there's less of that and more of the other stuff that I liked. I liked it a lot, Kevin. It's a need to see it for me.
Okay, cool. It's a need to see more for me right now.
Fair enough. I think this is probably how Rogue One went for us, too, the first time we got a trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much beat for beat.
Yeah.
Speaking of beat for beat, potentially Deadpool beats a dead horse with its jokes.
Beats it with his balls.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting at.
Thank you, yeah.
So will Deadpool 2 fall into the same trap? We're going to figure it out with this trailer.
Maybe the kind that leaves you more machine than man.
Wait, no, stop! What in the actual ass? Dale, why are the visual effects not done? It's a metal arm. It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache. Ah, fuck it. I'll do it myself.
I'm Cable, and I'm from the future, and I like blowing shit up.
Pew, 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 pew. Reach for the sky!
Oh no, Sheriff Deadpool.
You know, you're a lot taller in the...
Shut up, you little asshole. Take this.
Oh! Regeneration powers, activate!
That's not something you say.
Zip it, Cable! I got the stones to help you.
No!
No biting. They're done already? Oh, wow, that was unrealistically fast. Okay, hit it.
All right, James, let's pull our resources together for this Deadpool 2 review. This is
I'm ready.
Directed by David Leitch, written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who were the two guys who wrote the previous Deadpool movies, starring Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin. Our random shout out is going to go to Lisa Bunting, who plays the child protection worker. Hey, Lisa, great job. You're in a movie, bud.
Protection worker, excellent. A lot of hard work to do there.
Absolutely.
Children are our future, so.
Yeah, this trailer starts off just focusing on Cable, who is Josh Brolin's character, just this ultimate badass fight machine.
Super serious.
And then all of a sudden, his metal arm comes into frame, but instead of it being metal, it is just a green forearm.
Yeah.
So,
oh, by the way, Cable has a metal arm.
Yes.
In case you didn't know.
And a voiceover from Deadpool is upset that the VFX aren't done. They make a joke about the fake mustache from
Justice League?
Yes.
Yep.
We cut to Deadpool basically doing his own trailer as they're, quote, finishing the VFX.
Right, yes.
Where he is basically play fighting with a Cable action figure and a Deadpool action figure. And it contains all of the raunchy humor that was present in the first Deadpool movie.
But also wholesome humor, like from Toy Story.
Sure. And then the quote-unquote VFX are done. We get back into the trailer. We get a bunch of, depending on what your view of badass is, badass action comic book shots.
Yeah.
Ends with Deadpool and him with his blind roommate pulling out guns. Cable is in the apartment. He says a cheesy line. Deadpool looks into camera, calls it out for being a bad line. And that's the end of the trailer.
Which, in a sense, is also cheesy. If you're familiar with writing.
Yes.
Maybe people who aren't that into the industry will find his line funny.
Yeah,
Who knows?
So it's a weird...
I didn't.
Yeah. Calling out bad writing when you have done bad writing.
Yeah.
Is that enough to be a joke? And
it can be.
It depends on... Yeah, it depends,
Yeah.
of course, on context, but it also depends on the person. And there are obviously a lot of people that seem to enjoy the first Deadpool movie.
I am one of them.
Yeah, and it made
love it.
a shitload of money. So clearly there is an audience for it.
Yeah.
And it all just basically boils down to, if you liked the first Deadpool movie, you don't have to listen to this review. Your mind is pretty much made up. And
Yeah.
I can't imagine there are too many people on the fence about it, but if they are, if my opinion holds water, I'm pretty in.
Not for me, it doesn't.
I've changed your mind before.
That's true.
I can play that
pretty
episode
much
back.
the last episode, I think. All right, you do. You hold water, Kevin. Fine. Okay, so this trailer for me is very much... So I like it, but it very much went in a weird way. It's like two sandwiches. It was... I liked it. It was just okay. I liked it. Meh. I loved all the beginning stuff.
Yeah.
I loved all the super serious stuff with Cable, and then it hard cut into Deadpool being super goofy with the action figures. I loved all of that. Mm-hmm. Then it got into the quote-unquote badass action-y stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff was very meh for me.
Yeah.
I love action, and I love fight choreography, and I love that kind of stuff. But amongst the quick cuts, I didn't see anything that really blew me away.
Same.
It looked like pretty traditional, good fight choreography. Unfortunately, it feels weird saying this, but sometimes good isn't good enough. This is the fight montage part of the trailer. Not a single part of that got me pumped for this trailer. It was the other stuff. And I say, so that was a meh. Then it got back on track with the roommate pointing the gun in the wrong direction and Wade slowly pushing it into the right direction. Loved that. I even loved Cable's cheesy line. And then it ended on a meh when Deadpool called it out for being cheesy.
Yeah.
And maybe I just didn't like his actual line.
Sure.
Maybe it could have been if he didn't look at the camera and if he was just looking at cable instead.
For sure. So it's good, meh, good, meh.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're basically describing a club sandwich just without the last piece.
Exactly. Which is not a good club sandwich then. You need that last piece. Otherwise, it's just going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a need to see more for me.
Toothpick be damned. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Like I said, I loved the first movie. I think I'm going to love this movie. I'm probably going to see this movie. But based on this trailer, it's missing that bottom bread, man.
I get it. Yeah. And no, I'm very much the same way. I guess I would be in this little bubble of, I saw the first one in theaters, but I'm not necessarily sold on going and seeing the second one in theaters.
Okay.
And as of right now, I'm at a need to see more as well. This trailer was definitely trying to sell you on the action portion of it, which is okay. But then, so if you want to sell it on the action, just show me the action. Instead of cutting to 7 or 8 different shots of various characters, you could just show me 1 or 2 really good bits.
Absolutely.
And I'll bring up Baby Driver as a really good example. You didn't need to show me a bunch of different car chases. You just had to show me that one fucking drift. And I was in.
Just the Baby Driver drift in the Deadpool trailer.
Lifted wholesale.
I'll go see it, yeah. So there you go. Did you give it a rating?
Yeah, I need to see more.
Need to see more. Okay. Got it.
Look at this consensus.
I know.
Look at us go,
Sometimes it leaves a bad feeling in my mouth, Kevin.
Is that bad taste in your mouth? Is it venom?
It's venomous, for
fuck.
sure.
Everyone's got their thing. Maybe it's a breakup, a death, an accident. Whatever it is, you used to be one thing. Now, you're something else.
This is Venom. This is directed by Ruben Fleischer, written by Kelly Marcel, Scott Rosenberg, and Jeff Pinkner. This is starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Jenny Slate, Tom Holland, Woody Harrelson, Riz Ahmed. Our random shout out is going to go to Jane McNeil, who plays the restaurant patron. Hey Jane, good on ya.
I'm not impressed. Restaurant patron? I could do that.
Hey!
I could do that.
Hey!
All right, fine.
Give Jane the credit she deserves.
Jane. Good job. Good job.
Cool. It should be noted when
I was spitting venom.
When I was looking this up on IMDb, it just gave me the plot is unknown. Mm-hmm. And honestly, from the trailer, I feel like I'm in the same spot as IMDb right now.
Also, plot unknown. Right?
Yeah. We basically get voiceover narration, which I honestly kind of liked, which was, we all have our one thing.
Yeah.
And that could be a breakup, that could be a death.
Mm-hmm.
Could
be an accident.
Yeah, it could be one.
And you get the impression with this guy, maybe it's all 3.
Could be.
Yeah.
And you were one person before that, then after that happened, you are now something else.
Right.
That's the narration that plays over images, and I did really like it's a shot of pretty nice and peaceful oceanic setting. And then we just go ahead and pan on over to the MRI table
machine,
that Tom Hardy's fucking laid out.
I was like, oh, this is a pretty shot of a lake, and then I'm like,
something feels off about this lake.
This is low definition. What is this? I was like, oh, it's a painting on a wall.
Yeah. And we just get a series of images of what we assume are people in Eddie Brock's life. Mm-hmm. Shots of the city, things starting to not look so good, and, scientists lifting up this thing that, looks pretty venomous. And then right at the culmination of that voiceover, we see Tom Hardy's character still laid out, and then all of a sudden he screams and starts shaking violently, and that's the end of the trailer.
He does pretty good MRI freakout acting.
He's a goddamn legend, Tom Hardy. Honestly, this doesn't give us a ton to go off of.
It's definitely a teaser in terms of what it gives you. It's very vague.
So are we sitting on it?
Where am I sitting on it, or where am I laying on it on the MRI table here? Well, I mean, I like.
Are you convulsing? Are you?
I really liked the trailer. I like the voice that Tom Hardy's doing for this character. Tom Hardy can do a lot of different voices. A lot of the time we hear mostly the deep and strangly type of raspy voices. Like Bane, obviously, and The Revenant.
And see, for me, Bane is all just a Sean Connery impersonation. Which is why I find it endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked this voice. It felt like it had a different cadence to it than I've heard him speak before. But it doesn't feel like he's putting on a voice either. Mm-hmm. Like, that is very impressive, I think. Like you said, his speech was very good, too. It's vague. It's a vague speech. But you kind of get where he's coming from. And based on the character that you may or may not be familiar with, that's important. People being at their lowest moment is when this symbiont really hooks onto you. It ties itself to your emotions. Obviously, I'm kind of... What is the phrase you use behind baseball?
It's like extra text.
Extra so obviously, if you're unfamiliar with Venom, if you're unfamiliar with Spider-Man comics or cartoons and stuff like that, you might watch this trailer and go, huh?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really give you much context that this is like a movie that takes place in a superhero world. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to tell because I am such a Venom fan. I have loved that villain since I was a kid. And to see it handled the way it was in the Sam Raimi movie was really a disappointment for me. So I've been waiting for a good live action version of Venom for a long time. And this is exciting, but how vague this teaser was, mixed with the fact that we don't get to see any Venom in it. Like, obviously the scientists or whatever, the business people opened the door and we saw the oozing symbiote like in the case. So we saw it, sort of, but I wanted to see it featured a little bit more.
Like more than just in a jar.
Yeah.
I think that's valid.
And like Tom Hardy screaming in an MRI thing is a little too vague. Like, is the symbiont in him? Is it on him? Is it nowhere near him? Is he screaming about just seeing it? What? Like, I don't know. I just kind of want
I'm afraid of oceanic views! No, I mean, I definitely took that as the Venom symbiote is in him. Because certainly in the way that he's convulsing, and I thought I caught a glimpse of, like, definitely, like, his neck starting to change color a little bit.
I would have to rewatch it. I didn't catch that.
Especially given the voiceover narration, that is the point that it's trying to make, is it's like, you have this big traumatic event happen to you, and then you become a different person after that. And if we're taking that, not in, like, the metaphorical how we all live our lives context, and now start to apply to... What if we had an alien inside us? That's what I think this is getting at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say, like, he is Venom at the end of this thing.
Okay.
I think what I like about that take on the character is it does humanize Eddie Brock. And it does humanize how Venom became Venom. Because just having a evil black mass flopping around in the Spider-Man universe is like... You know, like, it's fine, but we basically have every Marvel villain ever in that. And I like to have a little bit more depth. And what does a person have to go through to make a symbiote make you turn into that?
Right, yeah.
Is, I think, interesting.
Yeah, I think that is very interesting, too.
That said, I think it's interesting for maybe the first 15 to 20 minutes of a movie. Now, granted, this is just a teaser. I would have to assume they're only showing us this because, like, the VFX for Venom are only, like, 60% of the way done.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to sell us on the human aspects of the story. And for right now, it's like, okay, this is a good base. I kind of hope this isn't the entire movie. I would just like to see them build off of that.
It can't be. You can't call the movie Venom and then, like, barely have Venom in it.
Unless... you do a Venom movie where he's never Venom at all, because then at that point I'd be like, that's gutsy as shit.
It's gutsy as shit, but I don't want that movie. I want to see Venom. Like,
I would admire the guts. I wouldn't watch it, but I would admire the guts.
Sure, okay, yeah. I want to see that Venom, and that
makes sense. It's called Venom,
and I wanted to see a little bit more of the symbiote Am I saying that right? Symbiosis?
Half credit.
Sure.
I'm not
thanks.
sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't really have to hear it out loud a whole lot. Anyway, I just like wanted to see something more from it. Maybe it crawling, or I'm not saying I need to see Eddie Brock in the full-on Venom like get up with the symbiote like all over him. I don't need to see that in a first trailer, but I wanted to see a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm kind of like, in a weird way, not sure why, but I wanted more from this. I
think that's valid because you didn't get Venom in this trailer.
Right. In that sense, it's a need to see more for me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But I am super stoked to be getting a Venom movie that looks like, it looks, what we see in this is good. Like there's nothing in it where I'm like, well, that was dumb. Right? I didn't see anything in it that I disliked. No. There was some cool action-y stuff, too. Like, there's some fucking trucks flipping. It looked like he had some sort of, like, telekinesis power. There's other things at play here, too. I'm just excited. I'm excited, but I wanted to see the Venom, man. So
I get
there
it.
you go, yeah.
All right, cool.
Did you give it a...
It's a need to see more.
Need to see more. All right.
Yep.
All right. Fair
Look
enough.
at that consensus.
Yeah. Cool.
I think getting pretty late. We're literally the only people in Minnesota still left awake. We outlasted everyone in Minneapolis. I think it might be time to call this tailgating party off.
Are we still in Minnesota? Dude,
Yeah.
the Super Bowl was like forever ago.
Well, we froze in place in Minnesota. So
true. Yeah.
Until someone comes and
thaws
thaws us out,
right.
we're kind of stuck here.
Yeah.
Will you be able to help us unthaw? Feel free to hit us up at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com if you have access to a hairdryer, or if you just want to talk to us about the podcast in general. Maybe shoot us a recommendation. Maybe tell us something that you like about the podcast, something that you don't like about it. Speaking of criticism, we would love if you gave us good criticism on iTunes. If you could rate and review our podcast, we would greatly appreciate it.
If you subscribe, you just get like updates of our new episodes every time they pop up too. So that's always a positive.
I agree. You can also hit us up on Facebook. Trailer Hitch has a Facebook page up. You can also hit us up on Twitter. By the way, James, when was the last time you checked that Twitter account?
I haven't been on Twitter in a while.
Yeah, same. So we should probably make it more of a point to update that. So you're hearing it here now. We're committing to it. It's live, on air, being burned into iTunes forever. We're going to check the Twitter more than once every 4 months. So
That's fair.
But yeah, thank you guys very much for listening. Thank you for joining us for this Super Bowl extravaganza. Thank you to Danny Schmitz from Lost in Name for a dope theme song. And thank you to Casey Clowers for this great outro song that you were about to hear.
Yeah.
James, I think I'm able to move my left leg. Can you pull this up quick? I think it's starting to unthaw. Ow! Ow!
Nope.
You can't mount holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Wait, a car is passing. Sir, do you have a space heater? God,
no,
damn
he's
it.
gone.
Is this how Jack Torrance felt?
I don't know who Jack Torrance is.
Get why you went crazy. The guy from The Shining.
Oh!
Have you seen The Shining?
Yes, I've seen The Shining.
Oh, thank God, because otherwise I would have spoiled the ending for you.
I just didn't know his last name. I didn't know his last name.
Sure. Man,
this is how Captain America felt. See, that's more your demographic.
Oh, that'd be the demographic
here.
There.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that I can't openly communicate with you because I also can't openly communicate with my fucking feet because they are frozen
solid. Let me get a sledgehammer here and just break them off for you.
Oh, I need them.
Crawl out of here.
Should we just call an Uber and see if they can get us out?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.